Did you know that in the United Kingdom, it is actually a crime to handle a salmon under suspicious circumstances? I am not even kidding. If you look like you are up to something fishy with a literal fish, the police technically have the right to ask what is going on. It sounds like something out of a comedy sketch, but it is written right there in the legal books. If you want to make sure you are a law-abiding citizen, or at least a well-informed one, hit subscribe and comment down below what subject we should investigate for our next countdown. We are diving into the quirky, the ancient, and the downright confusing world of British legislation today. Before we get into the main list, we have to mention a couple of rules that almost made the cut. First off, if you live in London, you had better get your house cleaning done early. According to the Metropolitan Police Act of 1839, it is illegal to beat or shake any rug, carpet, or mat in any street. However, you are allowed to shake a doormat, but only before 8 o'clock in the morning. So, if you have a dusty rug and a grudge against your neighbors, you had better wait for the sun to come up or face the consequences. Second, we have a warning for all the equestrians out there. Under the Licensing Act of 1872, it is an offence to be drunk while in charge of a carriage, a horse, a cow, or even a steam engine. While we all know drinking and driving is a major no-no, keep in mind that drinking and galloping is also technically against the law. Now, let's kick off our list with number 10. If you are planning a nice day out at a park in the UK, you might want to leave your kite at home, if it is a windy day. Under the Town Police Clauses Act of 1847, it is illegal to fly a kite or even slide on ice or snow in the street if it causes annoyance to the residents or passengers. This was originally put in place to keep the peace in busy Victorian neighbourhoods, where a runaway kite or a slippery patch of ice could cause a massive pile-up of horses and carriages. Even today, if a police officer decides your kite-flying skills are particularly bothersome to the local community, they could technically cite this nearly 200-year-old law to tell you to pack it up. Coming in at number 9 is a law that makes walking down a busy London sidewalk a bit of a legal minefield. The Metropolitan Police Act of 1839 also states that it is illegal to carry a plank of wood along a pavement, but it does not stop at planks. The law also forbids carrying ladders, wheels, poles, or even casks. The only exception is if you are unloading them from a vehicle or if you are in the middle of a construction job. The idea was to prevent people from blocking the narrow, crowded streets of London with bulky items. So, if you are planning a trip to a hardware store and decide to walk home with a 10-foot 2x4, you might want to call a cab instead, or you might find yourself explaining your lumber choices to the authorities. At number 8, we look at the strange relationship between the British taxi and agricultural supplies. For a long time, there was a legal requirement that every licensed hackney carriage, which we now just call a taxi, must carry a bale of hay and a bag of oats at all times. This made perfect sense back when taxis were pulled by horses that needed a snack between fares. However, when the horses were replaced by internal combustion engines, the law was not immediately updated. For decades, taxi drivers were technically breaking the law every time they left the garage without a bunch of dried grass in their trunk. While the law was finally repealed in the 1970s, it remained a hilarious reminder of how slowly the legal system moves compared to technology. Moving to number 7, we have a rule that applies to the very heart of the British government. Since 1313, it has been strictly forbidden to wear a suit of armour inside the Houses of Parliament. This law was enacted by King Edward II during a time of extreme political tension. He was tired of noblemen showing up to meetings fully decked out in plate mail and brandishing swords whenever they disagreed with a new tax. He figured that if everyone just dressed in their normal clothes, they would be much less likely to start a civil war over lunch. To this day, if you try to enter the Palace of Westminster while wearing a shiny helmet and a breastplate, security will likely ask you to change, though these days it is probably more about the metal detectors than medieval combat. Number 6 takes us to the beach for a very royal discovery. Since the reign of King Edward II in 1324, all beached whales, sturgeons and dolphins in the United Kingdom technically belong to the monarch. These animals are classified as fishes royal. The original intent was to ensure that the King and Queen had access to the most prestigious delicacies the sea had to offer. Even today, if a whale washes up on a British beach, the government's receiver of wreck technically has to notify the palace to see if the king wants it. Usually, the answer is a polite no, but the law remains a strange vestige of a time when the Crown had first dibs on everything that washed ashore. Cracking the top 5, we have a law that sounds like it was written by a grumpy old man who hates winter fun. As we touched on earlier, the Town Police Causes Act of 1847 makes it illegal to make or use any slide upon ice or snow in any street. This was designed to stop children from pouring water on the ground, to create makeshift ice rinks that would trip up pedestrians. While it sounds like a total buzzkill, it was actually a pretty serious safety concern before the invention of non-slip shoes and modern salt trucks. So, if you are in the UK and feel the urge to do a celebratory slide down an icy sidewalk, remember that you are technically flirting with a fine from the mid-19th century. For number 4, we head into the London Underground. We all know that the British are famous for their love of a good queue, but did you know that jumping the line is actually illegal on the tube? According to the Transport for London bylaws, any person directed by an operator to join the rear of a queue must obey that instruction. While it sounds like common courtesy, the fact that it is an actual codified law shows just how seriously the UK takes the concept of waiting your turn. If you try to push past a crowd at a busy station like King's Cross, you aren't just being rude, you are being a criminal. At number 3, we have a law for those who like to make a very loud entrance. According to the Metropolitan Police Act of 1839, it is illegal to fire a cannon within 300 yards of a dwelling house. Specifically, the law prohibits the firing of any cannon or gun of greater caliber than a common fowling piece, if it disturbs the peace. This was put in place because, apparently, in the 1800s, people were just randomly letting off cannons in their backyards, which, as you can imagine, was a bit of a nightmare for the neighbors. So, if you have a vintage field gun you have been dying to test out, you might want to find a very large, very empty field far away from anyone's living room. Coming in at number 2 is one of the most famous and controversial zombie laws in the UK. According to ancient local regulations in the city of Chester, it is supposedly legal to shoot a Welshman with a crossbow, provided it is after midnight and within the city walls. Now, before anyone gets any ideas, let us be very clear. This is absolutely not legal in any practical sense. While the local ordinance from the medieval era might still technically be tucked away in an old book somewhere, it has been completely superseded by modern laws like the Homicide Act and the Human Rights Act. While the local ordinance from the medieval era might still technically be tucked away in an old book somewhere, it has been completely superseded by modern laws like the Homicide Act and the Human Rights Act. If you actually tried this, you would be going to prison for a very long time. It is a fascinating look at how old border tensions were once reflected in the law, but please, leave the crossbows at home. And finally, number 1, we return to the mysterious case of the suspicious salmon. The Salmon Act of 1986 contains a section titled Handling Salmon in Suspicious Circumstances. To the casual reader, it sounds like the police are looking for fish that are wearing trench coats or acting nervous. In reality, the law was designed to make it easier to prosecute poachers. It makes it an offense for someone to receive or dispose of a salmon if they believe, or if it is reasonable to believe, that the fish was taken illegally. Because it can be hard to prove exactly where a fish came from, the Suspicious Circumstances Clause gives authorities the power to act. However, the phrasing is so bizarrely specific that it has become a legendary piece of British legal trivia. It is the ultimate example of a law that sounds like a joke, but serves a very real, very fishy purpose. From the king owning all the whales, to the strict rules on how you can carry a plank of wood, the United Kingdom's legal history is a wild mix of the ancient and the absurd. It is amazing that some of these rules, meant for a world of horse-drawn carriages and medieval armor, are still technically on the books today. Which of these British laws seems the most ridiculous to you? Is it the ban on armor in Parliament, or the idea that you can't slide on the ice? Let us know in the comments what topic we should cover next, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss another countdown. We will see you in the next one.